Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a review to do for you. This is a new item from Compoform. So I was lucky enough to have Pluke. He is the admin of the Compoform Facebook group, part of the Compoform team. I was lucky enough to have him send me his prototype or his personal SlideKick. I'm pretty sure it's the SlideKick. It might be the SlideKick. Man, I suck at this. It's SlideKick, right? So I think it's SlideKick. I think my brain wants to say SlideKick. Anyway, I'm going to call it the SlideKick, and then I'm going to switch that up and say it the wrong way. So either way, it's the SlideKick. Oh, God. Version 1. There's 3 versions of it. There was just a pre-order on the Facebook group. The way to get Compoform items right now is to go on the Facebook group, and you can sign up for pre-orders, or you can see people selling them, or you'll just get information there. Their website right now is basically down because it's up, but you can't really buy anything because they are in Russia. And the maker, Ivan Gostev, is in Russia, and obviously they're in a war with Ukraine, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And so they can't just take orders and ship them to the U.S. or other places in the world. So essentially, everything's done through the Facebook group, and then you pay via like Zelle. If you're international, you pay with PayPal. It's a whole thing. But join the Facebook group. That's the way to get stuff. If you can't because you don't like Facebook, then there's really not much you can do unless you know somebody who can like proxy for you or something. There's a couple changes to this that are going to be made according to Pluke. He talked to Ivan after I handled this and gave some feedback. And he said he gave me some updates. So again, this is the SlideKick version 1. This is called Blue Zips. So basically, it's a black titanium body. And you can see that here. And then it has these cool blue laser kind of lines on it. It reminds me of the movie Entrapment with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. But this is the Blue Zips. Then there's one that's all black, I believe. So it's just kind of like this right here, but across the board. And it still has these sort of dish buttons. And then you have one called Stone, which actually looks like marble or stone. It's flat here. It doesn't have the indents, I believe. And then this side also looks like stone. And that one has a good amount of grip. So you could compare it to, I have an Allure version 3 from Ivan right here. And this has some texture, some grip to it so that you can really get a grip if you have sweaty hands, which I do. So I really was kind of bugging them to make more versions of things because they did it on the V3. I really thought it'd be nice if future products also had some kind of pattern like this that isn't slick. So like it isn't slick if your hands are dry. It's not like naturally slick or anything, right? But if you have sweaty hands like I do, I just end up completely slipping off of this. It's the reason I ended up selling my Argyle V1. It's the reason I sold my Clover. I absolutely love those items. It's just I couldn't use them. So I still have the V3, and then I have the Compoform Laugh Now, Cry Later coin. This is one of my favorites, if not my favorite fidget of all time. Absolutely love it. And you can see it has these nice ridges. It has a engraving or whatever. So it just has a lot of grip. So even with sweaty hands, you can use it. Love that piece. So they're bringing a little bit of that to the SlideKick. But anyway, let's get into the functionality. So essentially you have these 3 sort of posts, and they are removable. So you have this little hole down here, and you can slide them in, and then they come out. So you can take all 3 of these out, obviously. And I was talking to Pluke about it, and I was saying, Ivan, he should think about selling bodies and selling these pieces. Like, he could do different patterns on the pieces, so you could get like a black body and then get blue zips for buttons, or get something else for buttons. Or another option that I thought would be really cool, because I'll show you in a second in terms of functionality. This hole plays a huge part for me in terms of the functionality of this product. Honestly, it saved the product. If this didn't have this hole, I probably wouldn't have been as excited to do this review. As is, I'm actually really excited because that hole exists, and we'll get into that. But my point being is he could sell these in different patterns and stuff, and he could also, like, different, instead of having the dish, you could have a concave, is it concave or convex, button, or you could have one with stone that you buy for your zips, you know what I mean? And then he could also sell different bases, and he could have like a hole here and a hole here, and then do a different one with like a hole here, here, and here, you know? Something like that to change the pattern up, because as we get into the function here, you're going to see that hole come into play. Now, there is one downside to the hole, and that is that things obviously can pop off. I've had a couple of occasions where I kind of did this, and it kind of popped that in, and you can see it just popped that out. And then I did it again, and that one popped out. And then you do it again, and then that one pops out. So you can do that, but I'm kind of trying to do it. Once you know what does that, it's really kind of obvious to stay away. And I've also tried to repeat it like that, and it doesn't do it. So it's not really an issue. I just wanted to point that out. So obviously you can use this just like a click bar. You can push 1, 2, 3, and then hammer that down. Hammer that back up, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Which is pretty cool. Or super bean. It's kind of the same deal. One of the most satisfying things about this is the full click. That full 3 click is absolutely fantastic. I've found you can kind of take this finger down here and rest it like this and pop it up like that. So you can pop it down and then pop it up, pop it down, pop it up. I've spent about a day with this, so I don't, I'm not going to know every move that you can do. We're obviously going to, as these get out in the wild, people are going to invent things. But you can also flip these around. So one of the moves I think they were showing was you can just flip it around like this. It's pretty satisfying. And this is where, when I started playing with this initially, and, I have to preface this by saying I hate almost every fidget out of the box. I hate it. I just always feel like it's not satisfying, and I don't know how to play with it right to, like, be satisfied with it. So I immediately hate them, and I've kind of learned to not do unboxings anymore with fidgets, and I've also learned to just give it some time. Don't, I kind of vent in my, in a group chat I'm in, an FPAG group chat. I kind of just vent to those guys and tell them what I think, and then I get my grasp for it, and then I'll kind of, like, publicly post what I think about things. So anyway, you can pop these up, and you can use them individually, and you can just flip it around like this, which, it doesn't have a great click or anything, but it is kind of cool. You can also kind of try to put pressure down and just keep spinning it around like this. Can be kind of fun. You can obviously pop it down and around like that. It's actually flipping. Sometimes it looks like it just pops back, but it's actually flipping around. Then you can also do the center piece like that. You can flip around, and then obviously you can flip the bottom piece now, or flip it over and do this. Now the hole, and this is where it gets fun. Okay, so I invented what I call the lefty, and essentially what you do is you push this corner here, and what it does is it pushes these two down, and it pushes this into the hole. So watch. Oops, did it wrong. Okay, see how that happened? And then you take this one and you pop it down. So in real time, you do that. Pop down, pop down. And that, to me, is more satisfying than any Argyle V1.1 move I've ever done. You can also do it backwards. So you can take it from the bottom, pop those up. Hold on. It's hard because I'm getting a little sweaty here. Pop them up and then pop that back, right? So I call that the reverse lefty. All right. And then another fun thing to do is just hold it like this, keep these two down here, and just push this up and into the hole, and then back up like that. So you kind of go up and down. Absolutely fantastic. So imagine, right? Imagine doing all these cool things. And then imagine if there was another hole down here, right? So then you could be like flicking this one up, pop that up, and then flick this into that hole. And I don't know, I just think there's some kind of, there's something there. You know what I mean? I think there's something there. So I did find out from Fluke, they are updating it, and the hole is actually going to be on this side. So I don't know what that's going to change. Honestly, I think it'll be fine, because if you use it left-handed, it would be essentially this, right? But you would be doing it right-handed. I think, if I can use my brain. And this is fun. Now, one thing Fluke told me as well is the lanyard. There's going to be a lanyard post here. You're going to be able to attach a lanyard. Now, the issue I have with it, according to Fluke, the lanyard's going to be here. So, unfortunately, that means the hole is down here where the lanyard is. And I have the most fun, and I see the most functionality with this, with the hole at the top. Doing this is super fun, super satisfying. This ultimately is the only reason that I'm excited that I pre-ordered one of these. If it did not have this hole, and I was not able to do these moves, right? If I wasn't able to do this and flick these around and just have fun with that, I wouldn't really be excited. I honestly think it would get boring. Just using the up and down moves and doing this would get boring to me. Like, that's how I felt. I got it, and I started playing with it, and I was like, okay, it flips around. Cool, right? Like, this is fine. Cool, but I'm going to get bored really fast doing that. And then that's when I discovered using the hole. And all of a sudden, I was having a blast over here, right? So, I think flipping the hole is fine. But putting the lanyard here, I think, is a bit of a bummer. I want the lanyard here. I want to hold it like this, right? I want to have that extra grip right here. And I want to be able to do this and have fun doing this. I don't want to have the lanyard up in the sky while I'm doing this. So that means you're going to have to hold it like this with the lanyard. And yes, you can still, you can still do this. And it will be a little easier with the lanyard there because you'll have a little more grip. But this is not as satisfying. It's not as fun. You don't get the extension with your fingers like you do up here, right? Come on, look how fun that is. Just imagine the possibilities. I think people will come up with cool moves. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. So I just hope the lanyard position works out. I really, if you watch this, I would implore you to put the lanyard down here. If the hole is going to be on this side, whatever. I'll get used to flicking this way and around and whatever. Even though I still think this is the best way to hold it right here, right? Because right-handed, you're doing the motions towards and up and out, But you'd probably get used to doing it the opposite way. Like I said, you can do this left-handed, so that's essentially how it would feel. But I would implore you, Ivan, to put the lanyard down here. Or, if it's not too much of a hassle, just put a lanyard slot on both sides. Let the people decide. They can just loop the ring through whichever side they want. And if they want to have the lanyard on this side, cool. My theory is he wants the lanyard down here because aesthetically it kind of makes sense because the hole is down here, right? This is sort of the bottom. Makes sense. But for the fun factor, I think you would want the lanyard down on this side. So that's my quick PSA to Ivan if you watch this. Otherwise, this is really cool. The machining is absolutely fantastic. Once again, I mean, he blows it out of the water. I don't know if there's any, I guess, yeah, the magnets are in here, so there's seams in there. I mean, it's just amazing. And then he does it on the pieces as well. This piece costs $325, $335 shipped in the US. If you got in on the pre-order, it looks every penny worth it. It's titanium, but just the work he does, the craftsmanship. I mean, the stone pattern one looks amazing. Like, it looks like freaking granite. Like, it's crazy. Just look at the rounded edges. Just fantastic work. But here's a good look at how you can spin these around. Just flip them around like that. Then you can flip these. The way I was kind of looking at it before I discovered the hole moves is it's kind of a finesse product. If you're into the finesse moves, like doing this, like slow motion, flipping that around, it is kind of satisfying to do this. Pop it up, and then you can flip that one, right? That's satisfying, sure. But doing the hole moves is the way to go. So, that is the SlideKick version 1. Absolutely think it's fantastic. I think it's going to be even better with the lanyard. And I think it's going to be good in the stone for me personally because I'll be able to hold it. Yes, I think the blue zips and the black one probably look better. I like the dish buttons, but I need that grip, you know. I'll actually use it having the grip. So, thank you to Pluke for thank you to Pluke for sending this my way. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna get this back to him. I didn't want to hang on to it too long because I know he only had it for like 10 minutes and then he sent it off to me. Thank you to Ivan for allowing Pluke to send this my way. And thank you to the Compoform group for checking this video out and just for being awesome. And, yeah, go check out the Compoform group. Join the group if you haven't. Awesome people, awesome stuff. I found a lot of really cool Facebook groups recently. I never was a big Facebook guy, but I am slowly discovering more and more of them and having an absolute blast. So definitely check those out. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.